Kim Hamilton Anthony is very well known across America, and if you're as old as I am, you maybe watched her perform. She is UCLA's first African-American female gymnastics champion. She was a national champion in the U.S. on more than one occasion. Really world-class in her ability. And I would think also with one of the most gripping personal stories that you could hear from an athlete of any level of competition. Kim, first of all, welcome to Huntley Prime.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you here. And because we've got to be really to the point, I want to get to the point. You've written this book called Unfavorable Odds.
Yes.
And as I'm aware of the story, you are someone who lived with very unfavorable odds as it related to your relationship with your dad. Yes. It seems that a father is a really key player in both little boys and little girls' lives, but especially for a little girl. If the dad isn't there, if she feels abandoned or rejected, she's headed for trouble.
Right. Usually when a father is absent in a young girl's life, she seeks for love elsewhere, in all the wrong places.
Yeah, if a little girl knows her dad loves her, then she's probably not going to seek for it in the wrong places,
because she has that security, knowing that her father loves her and knowing that she can run into his arms anytime she wants.
Yeah. Your dad was in the military.
He was. He was stationed in Germany.
Yeah, and how did this sense of abandonment or the lack of your dad's love manifest?
In my life?
Yeah.
Well, I found myself feeling hopeless. I felt depressed. I felt unloved, unwanted, and it played out in just about every aspect of my life. I found myself searching for meaning, searching for value, searching for love. And it wasn't until I came into a personal relationship with Christ that I found that love.
Now, I've heard you say that you learned how to roll joints for your dad. You learned how to make crack cocaine because you thought your dad would be impressed.
Yes.
You eventually, that was really a non-starter, but you eventually began to excel in gymnastics because you hoped that this would impress your father.
Right. I wanted any means necessary. I wanted him to love me. I wanted him to smile and say, well done.
Now you came from a fairly, I wouldn't say poor background, but you weren't affluent. And everybody knows that to train to be world-class anything costs money.
Right.
How did you fund yourself in those early days?
Well, one of the things we did was clean the gym after I practiced. There was a 20,000 square foot gym there, and we mopped, we cleaned the bathrooms and the floors and all types of things to help pay for my practice. We did fundraisers. I performed in a nightclub so that I could get money to go on trips to my meets to buy leotards and to train.
And did I hear you correctly? You used to walk 10 miles home at 1 in the morning, getting home at daybreak?
Right. Yes.
While your teammates slept?
They were sleeping warm in their beds, and I had just left a nightclub after raising money.
Now, what drove you? Was it this father hunger, or was there more to it than that? Were you also a keen competitor?
You know, I think it was because in my home life, I couldn't control anything. I couldn't control my parents fighting or whether my father would be home or not. And when I was in gymnastics class, when I was competing on the team, I had full control of my body, I felt. And it was the only thing that I had control. So it gave me a sense of power, and really it was an escape for me.
Now, you really are an anomaly. I don't know if any world-class athlete can be world-class when they're 5'7". I mean, usually
well, as a gymnast, no.
Usually they're just little girls, maybe 4'10", 4'11", maybe 5 feet. I've heard it said that over 5 feet is kind of tall.
Yes, yes. And I'm 5'7", so.
And you're 5'7". Do we have some footage of your performance? I think we do. Just tell us what's happening here.
This is my bar routine, and it's wonderful that you're showing bars because they had to make a rule that we could raise the bar to a certain height, because actually, I don't know if you can tell on this tape because I don't even fit into the screen, but my feet drag the floor every time I swing in, which is a serious disadvantage because all the other girls, they're tiny and they just swing cleanly.
But you have a lovely line. I mean, your height really gives you a beautiful line there. Now, when you're doing these giant circles and these flips and these dismounts, like beautiful dismount there, by the way.
Thank you.
What happens if you lose your grip? I mean, you land on your head?
Sometimes. I've done it often, and it's not good. I remember it being in one competition where I landed on my head and I saw a double, but I still had to get back up there and finish that routine again.
Now, It's many years since you performed on that level. Do you bear the marks to this day?
I do. I suffer from chronic back and neck pain. I'm in therapy now to try to fix that. I wear a back brace to relieve the pain. So yeah, it's pretty tough that I can't bend over and brush my teeth without being in pain.
Was it worth it?
I say it was.
Yeah. You have two little boys, actually not so little anymore, right?
They're taller than I am
Taller
now.
than you are?
A 13-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Are they into athletics?
Well, one plays football, one likes basketball, and they're very athletic.
Yeah.
Very athletic.
And your husband is a former football player.
Yes,
and
yes.
chaplain for NFL teams. 2 minutes. How did you come to faith? How was it that Jesus became real to you?
Well, it was, it all happened a summer after my freshman year at UCLA. I went back home and was hanging with some friends, and we were in a parking lot going to eat some fast food, and there were some words exchanged between me, my friends, and another group of people, and all of a sudden I found myself being held at gunpoint, and this young man was across from me holding this gun to my head, telling me that he was going to kill me. And I was able to walk away from that event unharmed, but I walked away thinking that there had to be more to life than what I had been experiencing. And that very next fall, I went back to UCLA and I met my husband. And he shared with me that there was more to life than what I had been experiencing. And he shared with me that God loved me, had a plan for my life, and that I could actually have a personal relationship with Christ. And I never heard that before. All along my life, I felt hopeless. I felt like I was a mistake because my mother tried to abort me. My family treated me as a mistake, and I finally realized that God loved me and that God doesn't make mistakes. So that's how I came into faith with Christ, and from then on, my life began to change.
Well, it's a great story. Kim Hamilton Anthony, thanks for coming our way.
Thank you.